I observed a swarm up in my oak tree again. I actually lost my bucket. I don't know if you can see my bucket up there. I wasn't able to knock that swarm down, but I think it came from this colony because the same day that swarm was up in the tree, I heard the queen piping. These bees are in transition of making a new queen. So all I want to know is how many bees are in this box. Are there enough bees to support 2 boxes? I also want to know if they might need feeding. And obviously I want to make sure there's no signs of wax moth larvae or things of that nature. And there's really not too much activity going on up here. In this top box, I did add some previous frames I had extracted, but everything else is foundationless and they haven't even touched it. So I'm going to assume I can take this top box right off. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the 3rd frame. This was a previously wax drawn frame of honey. And I just want to make sure, yeah, it's bone dry. There are no eggs. Definitely a frame worth reusing. Okay, I'm going to smoke the bees down a little bit, and I'm going to take this box off completely, and I'll set it over here to the side. I'll clean off the burr comb on the bottom of the frames and set the burr comb aside. I look down and I see 6 frames of bees, so let me just show you the assessment. I don't know if the video is going to pick up the little bee heads or not. Probably even a little too early for me to be in here, but I just want to make sure there's no issues of wax moth, because I do believe, like I mentioned, they are queenless. And what I'm also going to do is attach a frame perch just so I can have a place to put the frames. Okay, this comb is dry as a bone. It's got a little bit of cat brood. I got to be very cautious for virgin queen. I do see queen cells on the bottom, 2 of them. And again, I'm considering honey stores. They really don't have any. This is really light pollen. There's a queen cell they tore down. Another queen cell tore down from the side. I don't see any signs of disease. There is wet nectar, very light wet nectar, and more brood. I like to see at least this number of bees is healthy. I don't like the color of this darker comb, but it is filled with pollen. Okay, so based on my assessment so far, they have a good bee population and they have plenty of wet nectar and pollen. I'm just trying to see if I can find evidence of a virgin queen or uncapped queen cells. There is a few spots of remaining uncapped brood, and we do have empty cells that don't have anything in them. So there's another queen cell on the bottom of this frame, which is open. Okay, this has more brood. Lots of brood on that frame. This is old drone comb, which is empty. There's a little bit of pollen. Nice unused comb. Ugh. Lots of small hive beetles on this frame. So I'm going to take that frame out. Real spotty brood, pretty much empty for the most part. I'm going to add a frame feeder. Oh, and of course it's starting to rain. Starting to rain. This frame feeder right here from Man Lake is a 3-inch wide, deep. It holds 2 gallons. I don't have quite 2 gallons worth of syrup, but I do have 1 gallon and a quart. And that's just a 1-to-1 syrup solution. But the inner cover has stopped raining. So that's good. I did not see evidence of the virgin queen. I really hope I didn't roll the virgin queen. This was important that I made the inspection. They did not need the top box. They did not need to run into hive beetle or wax moth issues. So I'm glad I got out here and did this. So I'm going to stop the camera, stop this video.